honoring this month of April for the military child. It is so important to so many of us, and we thank you for doing that. A couple of things that we're doing at the department, just to let you know what's happening, and I think we're all excited about Purple Up Day. See, some of you got a jump start on us. So April 15th, you'll be definitely seeing our DESE staff, and we're doing everything we can to make sure school districts across the state are purpling up for this great occasion. We know we have military children here, but we know we have them all throughout our state, and it's so important to do that. Just another way that we're trying to support our military service families, and we continue with this mantra that while they're serving our country and taking care of us, our public schools are taking care of their students and ensuring that they have the academic and social and emotional supports that they need to be successful. So we do know, and I'm so glad to see you all here tonight, we do know that our military children do face unique challenges in dealing with such things as parental deployment and the mobile military lifestyle. But we also know that these challenges provide them a unique perspective after having the chance to see the world from a larger vantage point and building relationships wherever they go. And I know that I always learn something new from our military students whenever I meet with them. So thank you very much. Special thanks to school districts like Waynesville, like Knob Noster, like Rolla, so good to see you all here, who serve our military families and communities near military bases in our state. They take great pride in our military students and certainly advocate for their needs. I cannot tell you how many calls I have taken from this gentleman because he is, it's been very good, very great. He's advocating constantly, and from the others as well, but just want you to understand how much he is working on behalf of these students. We're just so grateful to have him as well. So we're also excited to share that the department will soon be launching, due to the organization that he referenced earlier, our Missouri Purple Star School Program, to shine a light on our schools that are committed to going above and beyond to welcome, embrace, and support military children across our state. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And finally, fresh off voting, right, and I'm sure a slow trip down 17. Finally, I'm pleased to introduce State Representative Bill Hardwick, who will present a proclamation on behalf of the Missouri House of Representatives recognizing April as the month of the military child. Representative Hardwick.
Well, good evening, Governor. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's a big deal whenever you come to Waynesville, and we're happy to welcome you here. General Bonner, nice to have you with us tonight. We appreciate all you do on Fort Leonard Wood. Commissioner Van Even, did I say it right? Commissioner, it's great to have you this evening. And Brian Henry, I think the legal term for it is you are awesome. So thank you for being with us also here tonight. We talk a lot about sacrifices those in uniform make, and if you're in a military family, you know that the spouses also make sacrifices and that the children also make sacrifices. And I think about my daughter. I missed the first year of her life because I was overseas. And every day I was gone, I thought about how much I missed her, and I thought about how much I loved her. So what I want to tell you military children, children of military service members tonight, is your parents are the heroes that protect our country. And you're part of our country, so your parents protect you. And they do what they do because they love you. And we're proud of your parents and your parents' service. And we're very proud of you and grateful for you and everything you do for us as well. So with that, I've got a resolution from the House of Representatives that I'd like to present to you tonight.
Okay.
Walk over there. Well, thank you all very much. And thank you everyone tonight, and God bless you very much, and have a good night.
Good job. See, hand shot up first. Give this to Representative Hardwick.
Neat idea. Neat idea. Neat. That's neat. Good idea. Excellent.
That's okay. Well, as we've mentioned all evening, military students have many talents, and they're great artists as well. And in fact, one of the things we'll do in April is we do put military artwork around town that our students do in our businesses, which is fantastic. So I just wanted to conclude by saying thank you to everybody who came this evening. Thank you to the officials who spoke this evening. I know you're very, very, very busy people. To take the time out and honor our kids is truly appreciated, and we know how much you care, and they do too. There's many support. I could go on all evening naming everybody, but we had many community representatives involved in helping organize that or this event. I truly appreciate that. We have many in our community here tonight to observe. Thank you for coming, and thank you to the kids. That's the reason why we're here, and we sure appreciate it. You'll see all sorts of activities in April. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, that was nice.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Are you kidding me? God, neat. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here.
No, I'm not. He's gonna have
You bet. Yeah, that's okay. Yep. She's not looking. Trish? Trish? I think we should all be standing, but I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Oh, yes, that's great.
Oh, good. Good.
I guess while we're taking pictures, I can mention it's Representative Hardwick's birthday today.
Yep.
Along with the board member, Rick Harn. I think Dr. Fulmer will sing later on if you guys want to stick around for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'd like to see that.
I don't know. They may just want the official party.
Good deal.
You want me over there, Steve?
Go.
Hey, Mary Ann.
Yes, Board of Education.
Better catch them, they're gone.
You get one with the Board of Education before you guys take off?
Absolutely, whatever you need.
They're the bosses, so. Yes.
There you go.
I lost that one. Go ahead and make a picture.
Can we take a picture of us guys? Selfie? Or us? Okay.
picture? All right, and I'm gonna take a quick one with my cell phone. We have people who want it right now. That's right. Well,
Yes, you do that. Will I see you this week? I'm going to come to your session.
thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Got my glasses? Okay, good.
That's the only way I can hide it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank
Come
you.
Colt.
Thank you, General.
Thanks, General. Thank you. Uh-huh.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Dr. Henry's had to be so big, we won't be able to get him out of here. No.
All right. I guess we're ready to roll.
That'll be his pay increase.
Just a normal board meeting in Waynesville.
Yeah.
Citizens' statements and participation.
We had no one request participation as per board policy BDDH, Mr. President.
Thank you. Written communications.
We had no written communications either.
Citizens' update. Military report.
Good evening. I'm Megan O'Donohue from Family and MWR Fort Leonard Wood, and there has been a lot said tonight about Month of the Military Child. But raising well-rounded children that are ready to contribute to society is no small feat. And though every child is very special and unique in their way, there's no mistaking that military children are resilient, strong, flexible, compassionate, always have a great story to tell about their travels. And as life as a military child can be difficult, it's also extremely rewarding. And on behalf of Fort Leonard Wood and Family MWR, myself as a military spouse and a military mom of military children, I want to say thank you for all that you do. The Waynesville School District plays a huge role in supporting our children, and we really do appreciate that. Fort Leonard Wood is so excited to say that we do have some events that can happen throughout the month of April. We are going to have a scavenger hunt for Month of the Military Child throughout the installation. We are ecstatic to have youth sports back open and are currently taking registrations for soccer and track. We also have swim lessons available on the installation for children ages 3 and up. And as a military parent, if you are PCSing with a school-age child, it can be very stressful. So we have a PCSing with your student seminar for April 21st at 3 p.m. on MS Teams, and we will send that link via social media. And we have over 70 positions for summer hire for teens. Now, I probably just lost my teens with that statement, but mom and dad, we have 70 positions for summer hires for our teens. You can get them on the MWR website at leonardwood.armymwr.mil, and all application information is from there. Once again, I just want to say a huge thank you to our military children, our military parents, our moms, our dads, our force, and the Waynesville School District. Pending any questions, that's all I have. Go Tigers and Army Strong.
Thank you very much. District announcements, Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I want to recognize East and middle school faculty back there. Thank you for your patience. We had extra special guests this evening, so thank you so much. We look forward to recognizing you this evening for our spotlight on education. Middle school was unfortunately snowed out in their meeting last month, so we're welcoming this month and look forward to hearing from you. As Governor Parson has officially proclaimed, April is Month of the Military Child. We're celebrating this month as a school district that has over 70% of our students military impacted, which makes us one of the most highly impacted districts in the country. Additionally, we'll have student artwork for the Month of the Military Child in businesses around town. The Waynesville R6 Foundation is offering engraved bricks outside the new middle school for a $100 donation. An engraved brick may be placed outside the former high school, and proceeds will go toward scholarships for Waynesville High School graduates. Meet the Candidates will be held at 6 p.m. Tuesday, March 30th in the Waynesville High School Library, and will be broadcast live on Channel 12 Tiger TV, on Cable America, and on Facebook. The candidates are Chase Foster, Paul D. Shultz II, Randall R. Nelson, Janelle Rowell, and Ruby Riley. The election will be held April the 6th. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Leroy Fulmer, our school board vice president, on being appointed to a seat on the Missouri School Boards Association Board of Directors. He will represent Region 8, which includes Morgan, Camden, Miller, Pulaski, and Laclede counties. Dr. Fulmer previously served as Regional Executive Committee Chair for Region 8. There'll be no school Friday, April the 2nd. The district's Eye in the Tiger newsletter will be going out to patrons later this month and focus on STEM activities in our district. And at this time, our plans are to hold the following 3 events in person with COVID precautions. Waynesville High School prom is scheduled for Saturday, April the 17th. Passing of the torch is scheduled for Thursday, May the 20th. Graduation is scheduled for Friday, May the 21st. And of course, we will have precautions in place for those events. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. Any questions? If I don't have any questions on consent agenda items A through H, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
A motion, I have a second.
I'll second it.
Ms. Dye, second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion carries. Student recognitions, Dr. Adkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, we would like to recognize William Schenkenfelder. William was recently selected as an alternate to the Missouri All-State Choir. William is a member of the WHS Choir, which is under the direction of Sidney Gilmore. Each year, the Missouri Choral Directors Association holds auditions, and as part of their all-state choir selection process. Is William here with us tonight? I know he was going to try to make it. He had a tennis match. Okay, well, we will go recognize him at the high school and give him his certificate there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and congratulations, even though he's not here, but when you see him, tell him we said good job. Spotlight on education for February, Waynesville Middle School.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight I have the privilege to honor Mrs. Lacey Saunders and Miss Vanessa Whittle for our Spotlight on Education. Miss Whittle is in her 19th year of teaching and has been working in the Waynesville School District for the past 2 years. Her first year, she taught 7th grade social studies, and she is currently our technology guru. Ms. Whittle has really stepped up this year, especially during our virtual days, to ensure technology is running smoothly for both students and teachers. She has come up with excellent Tech Tuesday training to help boost our knowledge in technology that will help further learning and keep students engaged in the seated and virtual environment. She works nonstop when there are tech issues and will ensure that they are fixed well before the end of the day. She has been an amazing asset to our team. We are all very thankful for all that she does for the staff and students. Here are a few comments from her colleagues. Ms. Whittle is new to the position of technology specialist and has stepped into the role with grace during the COVID-19 pandemic. She is helpful to both students and staff, working to ensure as many problems that she can fix are fixed. If she can't fix them, she works to contact the district technology crew to get the problems fixed as soon as possible. She has lots of new ideas and is also willing to share all of them. She is a great person to have in our building. She's a team player in every facet of the word. She has stepped into a really tough role and has provided a much needed help in our area of technology. She is very pleasant and willing to help us on a moment's notice. Ms. Whittle. Mrs. Saunders, I now have the honor to introduce Mrs. Lacey Saunders. Ms. Saunders has worked at the Waynesville School District for 6 years. Her first 4 was as a paraprofessional at the middle school, and the past 2 years as the guidance secretary. Ms. Saunders goes above and beyond to ensure new students have a smooth transition at Waynesville Middle School, feeling fully prepared to start their new journey as a Tiger. As the guidance registrar, she has a positive impact on new families and their first impression of Waynesville Middle School. Ms. Saunders is an excellent communicator and always willing to assist students, parents, and teachers with a friendly smile. Here are some comments from her colleagues. Lacey goes above and beyond on any task that she is asked to do or help with. She assists many people with a variety of things throughout the building with a helpful heart and attitude. Her patience and perseverance is greatly appreciated by her coworkers that rely on her for so many things. Lacey is an essential team member of WMDS in the guidance department. She is the individual who takes care of all the new students at Waynesville Middle School and all the students who are leaving. She communicates with parents and ensures that all of the students and their families get a warm welcome. Lacey is very organized and does multiple tasks for the counselors and all staff members. She is also very willing to help students with whatever is needed. Lacey is always willing to give a helping hand, and she always does it with a smile on her face. Ms. Saunders is a true professional. She's a team member, team player, and will do anything to help anyone in need. She's the first to arrive in the morning and the last to leave in the afternoon. She is knowledgeable, kind, and a true pleasure to work with. Her professional competence is out of this world. She is very prompt and punctual with the needs of teachers and students. She is very pleasant, always willing to help, and she is a joy to work with. Recognition well deserved.
All right, thank you, Mr. President and Board of Education. Now I have the honor to introduce and recognize our collaborative team spotlight that is awarded to our 8th grade math team. That is Mr. Kincaid, Miss Bruton, Miss Lambert, and Mr. Burrell. Unfortunately, Mr. Kincaid wasn't able to be with us tonight as he was juggling many soccer games with his kids, and Miss Lambert taking college courses to extend her learning. But Mr. Burrell and Miss Bruton will gladly help be in their place. On a pretest for standard AFA 3A, interpreting the equation y equals mx plus b as defining a linear function whose parameters are the slope m and the y-intercept b, if anyone still remember that from your math days. Our students scored a 29% on their pretest, advanced and proficient. And on the post-test, they scored 90% at the end of the unit. The main reason for their students' growth of 61% was the implementation of very specific practice at-bats, using daily exit tickets to check for understanding, allowing the teachers to provide very specific and timely feedback to students in small group settings. In this unit in particular, the team worked very effectively together with the end in mind, collaborating on student data, and striving to find ways to enhance the learning process, which in turn enhance the student's success. The 8th grade math team is an excellent example from which others can emulate and establish a growth mindset with their students. A couple comments from different staff members. The 8th grade math team is a rock star. As a team, they are very collaborative and are laser focused on student data. As they have grown together as a team, their use of student performance data to drive their instruction and choose research-based instructional strategies has been the key to their success. The 8th grade math team is an excellent example of teamwork using the professional learning community for student success and for providing a support for each and every member. So thank you, our 8th grade math team.
Congratulations again to you guys. And now we'll move to the March Spotlight on Education, East Elementary.
We would like to recognize Ms. Lydia Ross as the East Elementary recipient of the Certified Staff Member Education Spotlight Award. Mrs. Ross is an instructional methods coach at East, but she wears many hats. She has spent a lot of her time this year learning about our new reading series and supporting staff in the implementation of guided reading and Into Reading's many resources available. She also models instructional strategies and facilitates teacher peer observations at East Elementary. And during these observations, teachers observe others' best practices, and Mrs. Ross leads discussions of strategies that could benefit them in their own classrooms. She always has a positive attitude and is willing to help out wherever she's needed. She offers great suggestions and support to ensure all students and staff members are able to reach their full potential. She inspires both staff and students to be the very best versions of themselves. Mrs. Ross also spends some of her time mentoring students by providing them with individualized support in both academics and social emotional well-being. Additionally, Mrs. Ross has been an integral part of the East Leader in Me program, serving as a coordinator for this program. She guides and supports not only students, but also 9 Lighthouse Leader teachers as we continue the journey of Leader in Me. We are thankful to have her at East. We would also like to recognize Ginger Harn as the East Elementary recipient of the Classified Staff Member Education Spotlight Award. Mrs. Harn took on a new position in the middle of a very unique year and has done it with an amazing amount of grace and positive attitude. She is the East Elementary Registered Behavior Technician. She has a strong drive for helping students find success at school. She has worked diligently at forming relationships with students so that she is able to find specific, unique ways to help them be successful. She's an amazing addition to our East team and has made great gains in supporting our students in the area of self-regulation. She's committed, patient, and goes above and beyond in support of our students. And as one of our second grade students put it best, we just love Mrs. Harn so much.
Okay, now we're going to recognize our collaborative team. So we would like to recognize the 5th grade PLC team. This team consists of the following 5th grade teachers and support staff: Samantha Bay, Chris Scott, Don Clift, Lisa Thornburg, Andrea Allison, Gladstone Finn, and Candace Turner. Trust is a foundational building block of this team. Through this, they are able to contribute to our mission and support individualized learning for each student. This team has a collaborative spirit. They consistently share strategies and develop common formative assessments to progress monitor their students. When a learning or instructional gap is identified, the team collaborates to form a plan of action and support students through small group instruction during RTI time, creating a spiral review of the concept, or whole group instructional strategy improvements. The team is data-driven and uses their findings to support teacher and student collective efficacy. They consistently work with their students to set learning goals and monitor progress. They do an outstanding job at recognizing our students' academic achievements with weekly celebrations such as Accelerator Reader, as well as quarterly celebrations related to personal accomplishments. As a result of this team's focus on student growth and mastery of learning standards, they have seen a 70% increase in student achievement on a foundational fraction concept. Math standard NFB7, which is multiply a fraction or whole number by a fraction, began with a pretest percentage of 4% student mastery and progressed to 74% student mastery of the standard on the post-assessment. It's our honor and privilege to recognize this group of teachers as East Elementary's highly effective collaborative team.
Yeah, hey, Paul Stevens just show up. Would you mind present him with
Checking to verify.
That's Courtney.
Definitely not instrumental.
I couldn't even see as a Colton. You give it to him. Yeah.
Well, at least we verified before we go.
He would have took it. Yeah, he was happy.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, everybody at East. As my kids would say, back in the late 1900s, I went to school there. Okay, we'll go to third quarter project teach award. Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Mike Freeman from Seller Sexton Automobile Dealership is here to recognize Mrs. Mary Myers, kindergarten teacher at East Elementary, for this quarter's Project Teach Award, Darling Data with a Destination.
Thank you, Mrs. Bales. I greatly appreciate that. And the Seller Section Auto Group's again honored us to recognize the teachers. And I want to also applaud the school district for what they've done tonight to recognize our military students. Our community is built around our military, and we greatly appreciate that for what you're doing, not only for our military students, but for our civilian kids. And the teachers make a difference. Tonight, we recognize many of our students with our teachers from East Elementary, and we applaud you for the work that you do. Just an outstanding job. And tonight, we're going to recognize one of your additional teachers, one of the 6th kindergarten teachers at East Elementary, what I understand, Miss Mary Myers. Mary, would you come forward, please? She writes, students will be keeping leadership binders with data collected based on individual goals for kindergartners. That is their destination. We will use cardstock that is colorful to track students' data and progress throughout the year. And the extra cardstock will be used to create brag tags celebrating their milestones, even at a kindergarten level, taking these children and helping them to see their successes. And from successes means out of kindergarten becomes great first graders, second graders, through seniors, college, military career, additional turning into great administrators and teachers for the future, doctors, attorneys, good car business. So you see, you make a great difference. And so tonight we don't do this just to say thank you. We say we applaud you and keep doing the great job you're doing. Tonight we're recognizing one of those great teachers, Miss Mary Myers, giving her $100 to help support her needs in her classroom, as well as a plaque in her honor. Your third quarter teacher of the quarter. Would you join me? I agree.
Congratulations, Ms. Meyer. And Mike, again, we applaud you at Seller Sexton. We cannot stress you how much we appreciate everything you do for the school district, and can't give you enough thanks, sir. Thank you. And next, Transportation Employee of the Month, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my honor and privilege to recognize this month's Transportation Employee of the Month, Donna Ziegenbein. If you've been at Waynesville at any time at all, you know Donna Ziegenbein. She has been here for 30 years, transporting our students safely to and from school. The relationship she has developed with parents, staff, and students over the years is indescribable. And I'd just like to speak about Mrs. Ziegenbein on a personal note. When I was principal at East Elementary, I knew no matter what day a kid had, I could put them on the bus and Miss Ziegenbein would transport them home safely and get their day turned around. And likewise, when they arrived at school, if somebody needed a little extra time and attention, she always pulled me over to share that with me, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciated that. So it is my privilege and honor to recognize Miss Ziegenbein this month as transportation employee. Here, Miss Ziegenbein, let me give you your certificate and give you a hug. Oh dear, well, we can talk about that later.
Well, congratulations, Ms. Ziegenbein. And I will say she is definitely a treasure. She's been a longtime friend of mine, and very happy to see you get that tonight. Congratulations. Discussion items, Waynesville Middle School construction update, Dr. Cobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we have Don Hussman here to present and give an update on the middle school construction project.
Good evening. We're going to be looking at a number of images from March the 12th. I do want to point to out to everyone this evening that today our architects were visited the middle school and we are beginning the punch list process. I don't know if probably most of you may understand what that means, but typically that's when we're looking at all of the basic elements of construction, and we identify any items that are incomplete or any items that are completed that are unsatisfactory, at least to our point of view, and then a list is prepared, and then that is turned over to the general contractor. It's my understanding that after that list is prepared, we'll have about a 2-week period of remedial construction, and if I understand correctly, that will occur, that remedial work will occur in early April. So with that said, why don't we look at a number of the images. Again, these are from about 10 days ago, so there's been pretty substantial progress made on site. We're looking at a number of exterior elements. The building column covers are still not in place yet, and there are a number of items primarily having to do with the exterior of the building that have been delayed for one reason or another and will certainly be installed once they are received in town. The courtyard pavement is now in. There are tables out there, and that'll be a delightful area for the students and a very secure area too. The interior atrium, that's taken from the second, or from the, actually the first or primary floor. This is the atrium of the lower floor with the communicating stair. The band instructional room. Most things now are in place in there. The acoustical panels, you can see the technology up on the walls. This is family and consumer science. When this image was taken, the tile had been set on the walls but not grouted. I believe all of that is now complete. The art room in progress. Close-up of the art room casework. Restrooms. The corridor. This is that's a trophy case that's actually to the right of that image, and that is adjacent to the gymnasium. And this is the last image of the administrative circulation desk. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Don. Proposed elementary and secondary handbooks, Mrs. Long.
Hi, good evening. It's my pleasure to present for first reading the following updates to student handbooks for elementary, 6th grade center, Waynesville Middle School, Waynesville High School, Waynesville Career Center, the Alternative Education Program, in addition to the Waynesville Career Center Adult Student Handbook and Financial Aid Handbook. My office would be happy to answer any questions regarding these updates before requesting approval at the April board meeting.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Thank you, Ms. Long. Proposed policy updates, first reading, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. These slight changes to policy are a result of the committee handbook work that Mrs. Long and her team did, and they are presented to the board for first reading. We'd be happy to answer any questions between now and the next Board of Education meeting.
Okay. Comments or questions? Thank you, Ms. Bales. 2021-2022 Professional Development Handbook, Dr. Adkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. The 2021-2022 Professional Development Handbook is presented as a first reading and will be brought for approval at the April regular board meeting.
Questions or comments? Textbook adoption, Dr. Adkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last spring, we brought to you a recommendation for HMH's Into Reading program for grades K through 5, which we have implemented this year. After review of materials, our teacher-led review teams in grades 6 through 8 are requesting HMH's Into Reading for grade 6 and HMH Into Literature for grades 7 and 8. And if approved, the new materials would be implemented beginning with the 2021-2022 school year. This proposal will be brought back for approval at our April meeting. Some highlights: this proposal includes teachers' manuals and classroom resource sets for our classroom teachers, our special education teachers, and ESL classes, digital reading libraries, 5 years worth of student digital licenses, as well as 5 years worth of student work text, which are like their workbooks. But those are consumable, so each year we get new ones for the students. Implementation training and 1 year of coaching. The total proposal is $180,118. That averages to $26.11 per pupil per year. If you have any questions, I'll take those at this time, or contact me between now and the April meeting if you would like additional information.
Okay. Comments or questions? Thank you, Dr. Adkins. And proposed 2021-2022 Transportation Handbook, first reading, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration is presenting to the board a first reading of the 2021-2022 Transportation Handbook. Myself and Mr. Wilking would be happy to answer any questions that you may have between now and the next board meeting.
We'll move over to action items. Transportation Facility Improvements Phase 2 bids, Dr. Cobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. The administration recommends that the board rejects all bids with the plans to republish the bids in the near future.
Okay. Any comments or questions? And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Form makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Daring seconds. All in favor of rejecting the bids, aye? Raise your hand. All right, motion carries. Fiscal year 22 staffing plan, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. There have been no additional revisions to the FY22 staffing plan, and administration is requesting approval at this time, please.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 22 staffing plan?
Motion.
Mr. Arn makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Daring second. All in favor, show of hands. 7 all, motion carries. Proposed 2021-22 certified and classified handbooks, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration is asking for approval of the 2021-2022 certificated and classified personnel handbooks, please.
Do I have a motion? Mr. Ponder makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Mr. Daring makes a second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Architect projects, RFQ, Dr. Cobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration asked a motion to approve the district moving into negotiations with Insight Design. If we don't come to agreement, then we'll proceed with number 2 and number 3, the firms.
Okay, any comments or questions? Do I have a motion? Mr. Quinn makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Ponder, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Proposed policy update, second reading, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration asks for a motion to approve the workmen's compensation policy updates as presented, please.
Any comments or questions? Do I have a motion? Mr. Harn makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Quinn, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. And health and voluntary benefits, Dr. Cobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration asked a motion to approve the district-sponsored health and benefits as presented.
Any comments or questions? Do I have a motion to approve health and voluntary benefits? Mrs. Dye makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Daring, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Before we close out, I just want to say what an incredible night tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here, the governor being here, representatives, our Secretary of Education. It was just, in the Fort Wood personnel, it was a pretty incredible night. I think we'll all agree, and a way to kick off the month of the military child. With that, closed session, closed record, closed vote is allowed by RSMO 610.021, Section 3, hiring, firing, and disciplining or promotion of employees, and Section 13, individual personnel records, performance ratings. Do I have a motion into closed session?
Mr. President, I make that motion.
Mr. Quinn, motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Dye, second. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are in closed.